It is early spring and I am planting butterfly weed tubers. We have a lot of monarchs that stop on the property and we have a lot of butterfly weed already, both butterfly weed and milkweed. This is the orange butterfly weed and I'm planting more in an area where I already know that it does well. So I'm going to plant more tubers, which I ordered off of Etsy. And unlike a sweet potato tuber or a potato tuber, for example, these tubers, I don't know if you can see that there. These tubers come with teeny tiny little shoots at the top. And so my understanding is you cannot plant them horizontally. You actually have to plant them vertically, which means kind of a big deep hole for some of these tubers. I have read you can cut these into 2 to 3 inch sections to get more plants. This being my first time, I'm a little bit nervous about that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna plant the whole tuber in the ground, and if they do well, I'll divide and create more plants next year. All right, so here's the plant end of the tuber, and here's obviously the root end. And so my understanding from what I've read is that you want to set the tuber up vertically so that the crown here, where the plant is coming up out of the soil, is going to be barely underneath the soil, no more than like 1/2 inch, and plenty of room for the roots to sort of be splayed out. And then after I've dug the hole, we're just going to backfill that back in. Surprisingly, it was difficult to find videos on tubers. Plenty of info on planting from seed. The reason that I opted to go for butterfly weed tubers over seeds is I was reading that it takes 2 to 3 years for it to actually blossom. The tubers were a really good price. Like I said, I got them from a seller on Etsy, and they actually included extra plants, which was really nice. So hopefully we'll get some blooms off of this year. Butterfly weed is the milkweed that monarchs and other butterflies love. They get the orange blossoms, and they tend to get around 2 feet tall. I did read that when you're planting your tubers, you want to be able to insert them in the ground without having them bent. So make sure you're digging a hole plenty deep for this, like 8 inches or so. Okay, so inside the hole here, you can see the little plant shoots are coming out the top, and then I have, oh, nice earthworm. Then I have the root area at the bottom, and now we'll just backfill, and this should be barely covered with soil at the top. All right, so the area behind me with the trellis style sticks on the ground, that's just a covering or a marker I use so that when my husband goes through and mows this little pathway where we're trying to keep the brush back for this first year, he won't accidentally mow over the area where the butterfly weed is. Thanks for tuning in for this impromptu video today. If you would like to see a follow-up, we can take a look at how the tubers did with the butterfly weed as the summer progresses. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know if you're interested in me following up on a project like this. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in. Take care.